Welcome. Welcome to the 34th edition. 3-4. Are you excited? I had to give it a pause so everybody could chime into that. And I want to give Marcus a hand. And I want to let you know that I am so very proud of him, because not only is he doing ascending beyond limitations, he's doing so much more. You see it, don't you? You feel it, right? That's what a calling is. Something that you can embody so much that you can see it, feel it, taste it, be it. And then the energy says, all it says is, your wish is my command, and it just whooshes. That's what Ra did. That's how they became a collective embodiment of the divine. The whole planet. They became it because they saw it, they felt it, they embodied what it was meant to be, whoever they were meant to be on the planet that they were meant to be on, and they ascended to being a collective. I'm very proud of Marcus because he's ascending to be an expression of his individual self and his collective self, so that the divine sees all parameters of the experience. Ashe. Let it be so, and so it is. So if he can do it, you can do it too. Maybe not in the same way, but have the experience. Become the experience. Love the experience. No good, no bad, no happy, no sad. Just let it flow. And then whatever you feel, you feel. And you feel it. You experience it, you express it, and then you let it go. This is all Ra is saying. Ra is saying, I am not going to say anything that usurps your ability to decide what your free will is. No higher being from any other realm that decided to take on this expression and this experience can tell you what your free will is. They can offer you a place on the playground, but you get to accept it or decline it. Most of the time, we're accepting by not being aware. We just play. But the moment that you become aware or awakened, whichever choice you of terminology you want to use, you get to decline the invitation at any point in the game. Once you become aware that you are an aware being aware that you are having a free will experience, that you get to opt out when you hit the button saying, I want to change the place where I play and how I play. That's all Ra is saying. I'm going to give you all this information, and then you're going to choose. I'm excited. Episode 34. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I know I like it. So over to you, Marcus.
Oh, over to me. Wow. What a way to open up. Thank you, Sandee. I just want to say thank you so much for the acknowledgement, the appreciation, the support, and the love that you have given while on this journey. I really truly appreciate that. So thank you. It's oof, man. This is beyond a hobby for me. This is beyond a passion. This is beyond something that I just think about doing. It is truly the embodiment of what I came here to be. And I have surrendered myself to that. I truly have. And I'm now fully surrendered to that, as I'm now taking the step of no longer working a mainstream job after tomorrow. And I'm taking my full trust in myself. I'm taking the full trust in my guidance and spirit that I will have exactly what I need to in the present, and I will continue to have what I need to in the present. And I'm here for it. I'm ready. I cannot wait. This just means that there's gonna be more time to do more community building online and in the physical, and more retreats, more events, more workshops, collaborations, so many more things to come. I'm gonna be going to North Carolina here soon to help out. I'm gonna bring some shungite for shungite water, get some self-efficient water systems built for some of these facilities, and then also going to be donating some blankets as well as some heaters for people down there because of the winter time. So I'm also accepting donations too. If anybody wants to donate, if anybody out there is in this live and wants to donate towards helping out, West North Carolina from the hurricane, I'm gonna be going down there within the next 2 weeks, and I'm gonna bring some heaters and then shungite for shungite water. So if you want to contribute, just reach out to me and we can go over the details for that. Yeah, other than that, I had a retreat on Saturday, and that was beautiful. It was inner child sanctuary. So it was inner child healing based, did an inner child healing workshop. And then we did some breath work, ancient hermetics, 7 hermetic principles workshop. And then we had some fire spinning at night. It was really beautiful. Plant-based lunch and dinner, homemade by myself. And there was about 15, 20 people. So it was a beautiful turnout, especially for like second solo hosted retreat. So really happy with what I've been doing and how much I've really been taking care of myself and staying true to my path. It's been a blessing, and it's really helped me be able to move through the challenges as well, as I have definitely faced challenges, more specifically just dealing with my dad's health and everything like that. But it's amazing how our purpose and that connection with our higher self, or some spiritual connection, whatever you'd like to explain it as, the more we stay true to that, even during turmoil and during the hardest times, it's like this armor. It's like this power of like eternalness that no matter what's going on and no matter how serious the circumstances could be, there's something within you that's just very purified and just knows being present is all there is. And that's all there is to it. So been really growing lately. I really appreciate you asking, and I'm just really grateful to be here and continue doing what I do, making beautiful connections, sharing the resources and the knowledge, and also listening and being present.
Right.
Over to you.
Being present. That's exactly it. Being in that present moment. Yeah. And all of us, even the most even the ones that you think are your yogis, and and people that seem to have been around for forever and just know all of it. We're all growing and expanding. There is not one of us on this planet in this dimension and domain in this story called human incarnation that has not gone through something or is going through something as we grow and expand, as we learn more. The gift of shifting and evolution was given to us. There's no right or wrong to it. There just is and is. There just is lowercase is capital case is. Do you get that? There's just that now moment. And once we get to that one now moment, because we have many of them, once we get to it and figure out, if I could just free flow in this now moment, if I could just be conscious and aware of a question that I'm going to ask myself about how I feel about what I'm going through right now in this moment, that it's okay for me to feel this, because God knows that the divine gave me feelings to feel it. Because unless I feel it, I don't know what to do with it. You get to ask your higher being, okay, what now? What next? That's all. And when anything that we have heard Ross say, that's all he's saying is, what next? How do you want to see it? Right? He will say to the questioner, well, the human race is in this modality of thinking that which they see already is, but it is maybe probably and is not. Why? Because infinite possibilities are constantly happening and change is constantly occurring. But we're just focused on the is of a lower polarity. But guess what, guys? Like we said last week, and the week before that, and the week before that, and 30 episodes before this one, you take what resonates and you leave what doesn't. You seek thyself. You go inward. The unknown is within you. It's not anywhere. It's not out there. The universe knows itself. It's just seeking more of itself through us. Right? That's all. There's no perfect. Perfect is overrated. There's no perfect way. You can't do it the way Marcus does it and say, oh, it has to perfectly work for me, because it perfectly looks like, in my perception, it looks like it worked for him. You can say, hey, Marcus, what did you do? Could you share that with me? And then Marcus is going to share. I guarantee you, if you ask him, he's going to share. He's going to jump out his chair and say, all right, I'm ready. Class in. Session in. And he's going to give you what he did for him through his perception of what he did for him. And then guess what? You get to sit and discern it and see if it's for your highest and greatest good. You get to see. You get to decide if you want to be part of the Illuminati. You get to decide if you want to be a right winger or a left winger, or a no, or no politics at all. You get to decide that for your highest and your greatest good. And then you get to live that expression, because I guarantee you there'll be energy that's drawn to that, because the playground is made for you that way. No right or wrong to it. Just the feeling. You can say, oh, this doesn't feel good to me. And then you could say at the same time, you can go, I am conscious that this does not feel good to me. And consciousness is going to say, and then you get to say, I'm aware that I can move to another part of the playground that might possibly be a better fit for me. So let's get started, right? The divine wants me to start with this act of consciousness by Adamus Saint Germain. right? He channeled through Jeffrey and Linda Hop. Here's the book. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It's chapter, what he calls chapter 18. It says, what goes on earth? The eyes of creation in both the physical and the non-physical dimension are watching from all around the cosmos. Your angelic families are watching what happens on earth right now. You, as a leader of your angelic family, came to this place of earth, infused it with life force energy, and dived in. I love that. I understand why the divine wanted me to start with that. I'm going to read it again. The eyes of creation, take that pause, in both the physical and non-physical dimensions are watching from all around the cosmos. Your angelic families are watching what happens on earth right now. And you, as a leader of your angelic family, came to this place of earth, infused it with life force, energy, and dived in. It says, now your angelic family is watching to see how you fare, how you express, how you become, how you embody. They're not judging you. They're watching you and they're cheering you on. They're not judging you. They're right? They're cheering you on. They're giving you guidance if you ask for it. They can't usurp your free will to do whatever you're doing right now. They can't totally intervene unless you give them permission. But they're there for you. They help to create your choices. Your choices to be right here to listen to the raw material, to listen to excerpts from book 2. They want to see if you can truly remember your angelic origins, and to see if you come to have an intimate and loving relationship with the grandness of your, in parentheses, capital I, capital AM, your I am heritage. You are the I am. Holy moly, Batman. You are the I am. You are the divine in human form, seeking itself in all expressions of life. Right? So with that, we're going to start. The questioner says, I don't know if this is of any importance, but it occurred to me that the parts removed from the cattle mutilations are the same every time. I wondered if this is related to the energy centers and why they are important, if that is or was so. Pretty good question. Ross says, I'm raw. This is basically correct, if you may understand that there is a link between energy centers and various thought forms. Thus, the fears of the mass consciousness create the climate for the concentration upon the removal of bodily parts, which symbolize areas of concern or fear in the mass consciousness. Wow, right? Let's keep going. The questioner says, so are you saying then that these parts that are removed are related to the mass consciousness of the third density human form, and that this sphere is being used in some way by the thought form entities in these mutilations? I Am Ra says this is correct. The thought form entities feed upon fear. Thus, they are able to do precise damage according to the systems of symbol or symbology. The other second density types of which you speak need what you call blood. If you read the divine design, the divine design breaks down a lot of information about aliens and our thought process about aliens and the channeled information about aliens that are not aliens, but that are consciousnesses that are parts of the divine from other realms in what we might call other worlds, but other if we could use the Bible's terminology saying, in my father, or in my father's mansion is many rooms. Well, in the divine's universe, there are many dimensions that we can play in, and many dimensions that consciousness came from to answer the call for Earth Conscious when she needed space held. They came from everywhere. Reptilian or draconian, stars, Arcturian, all of the labels that we have, they came from somewhere. They came from the divine. They're not separate from the divine. We're meant to see them as separate. From an ego standpoint, but when you dive into wholeness, then you understand, like Ra says, it's from the law of one. Everything is one. Everything isn't separate. But these consciousness come to be the energy that we want them to be. This is what Ra is saying. Some consciousnesses try to find more out about energy and energy centers through cattle mutilations and mutilations of other animals to find out how the divine created these energy centers. And some did the testing with blood. Take what resonates for you and leave the rest. Doesn't mean one is right and one is wrong. It means you have an infinite, now you have opened the infinite possibility. There's two possibilities that might work for you or might not. The questioner says, the other second density types need the blood to remain in the physical. Do they come in and out of our physical form from the lower astral planes? Ra says, I am Ra. These entities are, shall we say, creatures of the Orion group. So he gives you a label for them, what are. And remember, when Ra is speaking vibrationally through the words that we know, the words and the terminology that we know. So the Orion group may not be called the Orion group as they are known in their dimension, but that's what we call it because that's what we based it off the stars. Astrology. So he says, yeah, they do not exist in the astral planes as do the thought forms, but wait within the Earth's surface. We, as always, remind you that it is our impression that this type of information is unimportant. And once again, he in book one, he said this is unimportant, but yet you keep asking the question. The questioner says, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I sometimes am at a loss for investigation into an area as to whether it is going to lead to a better understanding. So he's saying, I'm going to continue asking the question because I really need to know, and maybe I'll get to the right question and find the right information that is for my highest and greatest good. So the questioner also says, this just seems to be related somehow to the energy centers which we have been speaking of. The questioner says, I am going to make a statement and have you comment on it for correctness. The statement is, when the Creator's light is split or divided into colors and energy centers for experience, then in order to reunite the creator, the energy centers must be balanced exactly the same way the split light was as it originated from the creator. Is this correct? Ra says, I am Ra. To give this query a simple answer would be nearly impossible. We shall simplify by concentrating upon what we consider to be the central idea towards which you are striving. Did you see how Ross said that? He says, we're going to answer the question based on what we perceive. You're striving to get the to what answer you're striving or path you're going. This isn't an easy answer, but we're going to give it to you as best we can, how we perceive it. Right? Ross says, we have many times now spoke about the relative importance of balancing as opposed to the relative unimportance of maximal activation of each energy center. The reason is, as you have correctly surmised, thusly the entity is concerned, if it be upon the path of positive harvestability, and harvestability just means growth and the ability to evolve. Are you ready to move to the next evolutionary moment? A harvest moment. Are you ready to step into the conscious thought process of 4D or 5D, even while you're living in 3D? Harvestability, growth, expansion, shifting, evolution, and then you start the shit all over again so that you move into a new conscious thought process as you're living in this 3D linear world, having an expression, right? He goes on to say, or they go on to say, thus the fragile entity may be more balanced than one with extreme energy and activity in service to others due to the vast divisiveness with which the will is focused upon and used in experience in the knowing of self. The densities beyond your own give the minimal balance individual of time, space, and space-time with which the continued refinement to your inner balances, growth and expansion. One day you might be very balanced, and the next day you might have a moment where your higher being takes you out of balance. It's called growth and expansion. We as human beings look for the perfectness in the experience of learning everything that's outside, that we think is outside of us. We think that the dimensions are outside of us, and that's where we want to be. It's all within us, and it's all in alignment, and sometimes it's out of alignment. You could be in alignment in most areas and out of alignment in one area. You could be in alignment with the upper three chakras, but totally out of alignment with your lower one, due to the fact that you are experiencing and expressing life continuously. Back to you, Marcus.
Wow. I have a couple of things for us. And thank you, Sandee, for that wonderful passage out of the raw material, book 2. So what I have for us is, number 1, a little bit about the Orion group, as that was mentioned. So as usual, take it or leave it, but this is about galactic knowledge, so stuff beyond the Earth, higher dimensional knowledge. So just tap in and receive. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But the Alpha Draconian Orion group, the direction of the life force is hierarchical and managed by the Alpha Draconians. Systems that spans between the Draco constellation and the Orion constellation. However, multiple conflicts exist within the system, and the fight for its resources exists among many species, the reptilians and draconian levels of cognizance. There is a vast system of bottom feeders and defectors. The Orion group is a satanic-like force that has a predatory ideology that uses females as slaves or breeders while seeking territorial dominion on other planets within their wearing and killing culture. Their position in the NAA, which is the negative agenda. So when it says negative agenda, it's the beings that operate in a negative polarity. And with the negative polarity, it just means that they are beings that are in the vibrational resonance of basically darkness or ignorance. And they play that role in this universal life that we're in. There's positive polarity beings, there's negative polarity beings. It's all their vibration and what their form is vibrating at when it comes to their consciousness. So just want to give that reminder to people as we go through this. So they are a predatory force with a predator mind, which is mainly responsible for creating such of the negative ego and humanity through mind control programming. And they have introduced financial and debt enslavement to planet Earth through the banking cartels. Additionally, the Nordics are blonde-looking humans from Orion and are also predatory. The species is responsible for spreading racism, genetic discrimination, genetic experimentation, such as the Nazi ideology, and they are proponents of promoting their belief system of genetic superiority through spiritually abusive methods of eugenics. The Nordic group was involved with Hitler's Germany and World War II. Draco species are potentially capable of shapeshifting and have extreme psionic abilities, which allow them to possess or enter bodies through consciousness projection. They are also the ones who originate the form of the Phantom Matrix. Wow. So yeah, very deep galactic level knowledge. It's not going to be for everybody, and it's not going to be understood the first time always. Um, but you know, there is things that go beyond this earth and have, you know, happened and taken on throughout time to lead up to this earth and up to this time that we're in now. You know, there is a history of some sort when it comes to what's happened in creation here. Um, so you can always do more research on your own. You can always meditate on this stuff, and you can always tap in and find multiple different ways of receiving this type of knowledge. So that's the Orion group that was just mentioned. And then I also wanted to share this as well. This is the 7 chakras. And I want to show this diagram real quick because I know the chakras were brought up again. And I wanted to share real quick how it shows not just the 7 chakras, but it also shows that middle pole of energy. And if you see there, going directly down the middle of the chakras is a pole. And that is that middle balancing force or energy pole that was just referenced by Ra. So the key is to allow your prana or your kundalini or your life force energy to be able to travel from the base at the root chakra and make its way vortexing around the spine, around the middle pole, up every 7 chakra, and then through it, activating and balancing each of the 7 chakras. How do we balance it? We balance it through the balance of masculine and feminine energies within each octave. And then the more that a chakra is blocked or it's overactive, then that could distort and throw off the current of your prana. And this can cause illness and disease and imbalanced behaviors. So I just want to show this diagram real quick for you guys, just to give you a visual of what it is that Ra was just delivering to us just now. So it's a little bit about the Orion group, and then giving you a visual aid with the 7 chakras and that middle pole was brought up. Now I'll hand it back over to you.
We're a little bit more informed than we were a moment before, right? That's each now moment grows us. And like Marcus says, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Ross says, I'm not giving you any information that's going to inhibit you from using your free will. Regardless of whether these lower entities are here doing or are experiencing a human incarnation, and how they're experiencing it has nothing to do with how you experience your now moment unless you let it. That's called free will. See, they can come here and have an expression in the lower energy, but they know the ground rules by which they can play. They were invited here to play and to hold space for Earth consciousness and humanity to shift. So they know that they cannot usurp your free will. But guess what free will is? Free will doesn't have to be conscious. It doesn't mean that you say, hey, yes, come play with me all you want. Fuck with me all you want. It's okay. That's not how that works. It means if you play in a certain area of the playground and you focus your energy on that, you're giving your permission for them to play with you, because you focused your energy in that arena. No right or wrong to it. Nobody here is judging anybody. This is part of how we grow to understand how we're going to be in a next now moment. It's called feelings and emotions, and those shift us into wherever wherever we're having a lack of balance in our chakras because of what we're expressing. Now, if you want to focus on the Draconians or the Orions or any of that as being the reason why you can't do something, the universe is going to say, your wish is my command. I'm going to give you more of that. I'm going to allow more doors to open. I'm not going to create the doors and what's inside the doors that you're going to step into, but this is what you're vibrating on. It's not a right or wrong to it. It is a just IS, capital IS. It just is. It's whatever our now moments are. Right? That's all Ra is saying. Pretty much, I'm hearing right now that, you know, perfect is overrated, but we in our form body and our ego mind has been told for a long time that we had to strive for perfection by people who weren't striving for perfection. They just didn't want you to see that they weren't doing that. Because if you're striving for perfection, you're not living in your now moment. You're either living in your past of being imperfect or in your future of trying to get to being perfect. And all Ra is saying is there's going to be imbalance. You're going to grow and you're going to expand. You can focus all your energy on cattle mutilations, or you can focus on living now. You can focus on somebody telling you this is all a illusion and then just stop living because now you've been duped, or you can go change the illusion. You can recreate within it. You can be told that this is all matrix. This is all made up in the mind. This is all a dream. And you can just stop living, or you can go create more in that illusion for you. There's infinite possibilities. You're still part of the process. So the questioner asked, in the next density, which is the fourth density, is the catalyst of physical pain used as a mechanism of experimental balancing? Ra says, I am Ra. The use of physical pain is minimal, having only to do with the end of the fourth density incarnation. This physical pain would not be considered severe enough to treat, shall we say, in third density. The catalyst of mental and spiritual pain is used in fourth density. The questioner asks, why is physical pain a part of the end of fourth density? Ra says, I am Ra. You would call this variety of pain weariness. So that's the difference between pain in 4D and the pain in 3D. Weariness is you're kind of getting tired of doing the same old thing all the time. Okay, I need to, we need to readdress this. as opposed to actual physical pain, being shot with a gun, being hit with your fist, being run over by a car, having a painful disease in 3D. Weariness is kind of like, when I think of the word weary, all I can say is this, the thing that comes to mind: I'm tired of this shit. Well, it's me. I'm tired of this shit. Right? For me, that's my perception. What's your perception of weariness? Right? The questioner then asks, can you state the average lifespan in the fourth density of space-time incarnation? And I'm looking down. I am reading the book. It's down here. Okay. Not making anything up, just reading the channel writing in the book. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Ra says, I am Ra. The space/time incarnation typical of harmonious fourth density is approximately 90,000 of your years as you measure time. Do you hear how he answered that? Or they answered that? How you measure time, I'm going to give it to you as you measure time, not as we see time or feel time or are time or move through time. How we express time in our third density, right? So, Rod, I'm going to read that again. I'm going to read the question. I'm going to read the answer. The question: can you state the average lifespan in the fourth density of space/time incarnation? I am Ra. The space/time incarnation, typically of harmonious fourth density, is approximately 90,000 of your years as you measure it. The questioner says, are there multiple incarnations in fourth density with time-space experience between incarnations? I am Ra. This is correct. The questioner says, how long is a cycle of experience in fourth density in our years? Ra says, the cycle of experience is approximately 30 million of your years if the entities, not one entity, but entities are not capable of being harvested sooner. Now, I want you to realize that harvesting, that word, harvested sooner. Think about this. We're always thinking of people going missing and never showing up. You never see them, their bones dug up or anything. They just go missing. We assume that a dirty deed has happened. What if, and this is an infinite possibility, what if they've been harvested? They were ready. They stepped in to a fourth density portal. They alchemized their body, transformed their body, mind, and soul, and stepped into a new dimension. I just want you to think about that. The divine gave me that. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Right? There is in this density a harvest which is completely the function of the readiness of the social memory complex. It is not structured as your own, for it deals with a more transparent distortion of the one infinite creator. Did you get that? It's not set up for individual, though it can happen. But social memory complexes, where the whole world merges together as the one true creator, right? Blows my mind. But I'm saying infinite possibilities for me is this answers a lot of my questions. Doesn't mean that it has to be so for anybody else. I learned most recently, I can't take people with me and help them and make them believe or feel what I feel. That resonates for my highest and greatest good. I can't. But I can feel good in my now moment going, ooh, that's answered so many of my questions. Ooh, thank you. That's an expression of the divine within me saying, I see myself. It is not structured as is your own, for it deals with a more transparent distortion of the one infinite creator. It is the creator seeking itself through you in third density. The divine created the third density to seek itself, to feel itself, to become more of itself in the physical. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You don't have to agree with it. There's no need here to agree or disagree. Just take what is for you and let that flow. The questioner asks, then the big difference in harvestability between third and fourth density is that at the end of the third density, the individual is harvested as a function of individual violet ray, but it is the violet ray for the entire social memory complex that must be, let me turn the page, that must be a harvestable nature to graduate to the fifth density. Is this correct? Ra says, I am Ra. This is correct. Although in fifth density, entities may choose to learn as a social memory complex or as mind, body, spirit complexes, and may graduate to sixth density under these conditions. For the wisdom density is an extremely free density, whereas the lessons of compassion leading to wisdom necessarily have to do with other selves. Interactive. You're constantly having interaction with your other self. The questioner says, then is sixth density harvest strictly of a social memory complex nature? Because again, we have wisdom and compassion blended back using wisdom. Ross says this is quite correct. Simple as that. This is quite correct. The questioner says, the physical vehicle that is used in fourth density space-time is, I'm assuming, quite similar to that one that is now used in third density. Is this correct? Ross says, the chemical elements used are not the same. However, the appearance is similar. Now, the divine wants you to know that you don't have to die each time you start to expand into fourth density, fifth density, sixth density. You can expand into fourth density as consciousness experiencing 3D. Fourth consciousness, fifth consciousness, sixth consciousness, and still be a viable body in 3D. Infinite possibilities, baby. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Ross says, this is incorrect. The fourth density being desires to serve in, or I'm sorry, I need to slow my roll. I am Ra, and this is incorrect. The fourth density being desires to serve, and the preparation of food stuff is extremely simple due to the increased communion between entity and living foodstuff. Therefore, this is not a significant catalyst, but rather a simple precondition of the space-time experience. The catalyst involved is the necessity for the indigestion of foodstuff. This is not considered to be of importance by fourth density entities. And this is not considered to be important by fourth density entities, and it therefore aids in the learning of patience. Questioner says, could you expand a little on how that aids in the teaching and learning of patience? Ra says, I am Ra. To stop the functioning of service to others long enough to ingest foodstuff is to invoke patience. Questioner, I am guessing that is not necessary to ingest foodstuff in fifth density. Is this correct? Ra says, I am Ra. This is not correct. However, the vehicle needs food, which may be prepared by, are you ready? Thought. The questioner says, what type of food would be, or would this be? Ra says, I am Ra. You would call this type of food nectar or ambrosia, or a light broth of golden white hue. This takes me back to Hercules, and they did an episode where he had to go find the nectar of the gods because it was missing. I'm just saying. Back to you, Marcus. Whew.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. It's really fascinating how descriptive Ra is.
Yes. Very, very descriptive. In some question, he's just straight. I keep saying they are just straight to the point. And some
No, really.
answers, raw,
Go ahead.
gives you an openness for infinite possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like too how in this part explaining the type of capabilities and the kind of choices that you have when in different dimensions. That's very interesting. I've never really seen that described in any scriptures or anything like that. So that's very fascinating right there. Is like, you know, how he's describing sixth density, like you can be a complex or you can just be an individual self in there. It's like, wow, that's fascinating to know about, especially in this third dimensional mindset.
Yeah.
Um,
I
yeah.
just like how the divine just keeps making me, not making me, allowing me to say that we can get to, fourth, fifth, sixth, 144th density, whatever, or consciousness, those levels. And we don't even have to have a physical death. And our,
Mhm.
our body can transform and alchemize to to um, to uh, to become part of that. And it's as simple, whew, as maybe just living in our now moment and giving thanks for the consciousnesses that are the energy that surround us, that give us the opportunity to make the choices, to move, to grow and expand. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait to get to book 3. you know, it's like, but I can wait.
Man,
Book 2 is giving us some good nuggets.
yeah. I love how it always references the chakra system because, like, I feel like I've been one of the only ones to be always shouting about the chakra system all the time. And then I see Raw coming out here with the chakra system. I think it's so funny. And I have like a very deep connection to Raw too, naturally. So there's no coincidence there. Definitely an emphasis on the chakra system. Um, so I was kind of feeling called if we would all feel open to it. I was feeling called to kind of open us up with a little bit of a very, very short guided meditation to connect with some golden white light that was just mentioned. So if you'd like to sit into this meditation, feel free to get comfortable. You can sit or lay down. This will be just a couple minutes of meditation. And we're just gonna circulate and receive and be present with a little bit of the golden white energy. All right. So we may begin. You may close your eyes if you wish and get comfortable, either sitting or laying down. Checking with your shoulders, making sure your shoulders are relaxed down by your side. And checking in with the fingers, making sure we're not balling our fists at all. And then moving down the legs, making sure we're not flexing our legs in any of the muscle areas. And making our way to our toes, making sure our toes are nice and flat on the ground. Then lastly, we're going to check in with the jaw, making sure we're not clenching our teeth. Then we're going to focus on the breath, breathing in through the nose, expanding the stomach, drawing the breath all the way down the body to the earth. Then exhaling out of the mouth. Breathing into the nose, drawing it down to the earth, and exhale. Continue to focus on this breath for a moment. And as we breathe, with every circulation beginning to feel this golden white light beginning to expand and rotate at the base of the spine, at the root chakra. With every breath, awakening this golden white light inside the root chakra. Staying with the breath. No matter how much stimulation, electrical, or energy you feel, just moving with the breath, moving the body if you need. Continuing to breathe as this golden white light begins to awaken the root. And as we breathe, it makes its way up to the sacral, right below the belly button. Expanding and clearing the sacral chakra. Stay with the breath. Golden white light now travels to the abdomen at the solar plexus. And as we breathe, the golden white light travels up to the center of the chest at the heart chakra. Continuing on, golden white light travels to the throat chakra, the throat. Staying with the breath as it makes its way up to the center of the brows at the third eye. And continuing to breathe as we make our way to the seventh chakra at the top of the head, at the violet crown chakra. This golden white light clears, activates the crown. Now beginning to feel the fluidity of your current flowing through your middle column. Whatever you feel, just know that's your own power. It's your own energy. It's your own strength. All right, and now we're gonna take a big deep breath, and with this breath, we're gonna bring it down our body and like an anchor, ground it into the earth. And exhale. We're gonna take another deep breath and anchor it to the earth. And exhale. And one more deep breath. And anchor it down to the earth. And release. And when you're ready, begin to make your way back to your body and return to the physical environment.
You feel your own power. But that power is not power over others. It's power that flows through you. It's your power. The wholeness and oneness of the one true creator moving in, through, and as you. The questioner says, I am simply trying to trace the evolution of this catalyst that then, take the comma, as you say, take the comma, changes in fifth density. The questioner says, I might as well complete this and ask if there is any ingestion of food in sixth density. I am raw. This is correct. However, the nature of this food is that of light and is impossible to describe to you in any meaningful way as regards the thrust of your query. Sometimes infinite possibilities can't be broken down. They have to just be expressed and lived. Sometimes we can spend so much of our now moments in questions about what's going on in other realms and in other vibrations that we aren't in our now moment experiencing that which we spend a lot of time questioning. Not that questioning is a wrong or a right. Sometimes with the the words that we have, or the labels that we have, or the dynamics that we're living in at the moment in the storytelling, they don't have enough of a vibration that raw can give you the answer. Sometimes you have to live it and then go, oh yeah, I got that. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The questioner asks, on this planet, after the harvest is complete, will fourth density beings be incarnated on the surface as we know it now? Ra says, I am Ra. The probability / possibility vortexes indicate this to be most likely. When I read this book, The Divine Design, it channels a message that third density, fourth density, excuse me, and some of fifth density beings were sharing Earth surfaces in different dimensions. Wow, right? My throat chakra just, somebody's going through something. It's okay. Let it come on. I'm going to hold space for it. Doesn't mean that you're having a moment of doubt. You're having a moment of a clarity of an infinite possibility. Doesn't mean it's so for you yet. It means it's infinite possibilities, and you're given all these choices. Take what resonates for you. Don't let us overwhelm you. Just take what resonates for you right now at this moment and feast on that. Any story that you want to express, the divine says, let it be so. I want to feel it. I want to see it. I want to be it. No judgment. If you want to judge it, the divine says, I'll feel that too. If you want to judge it. So the divine says, let your throat chakra just free. Ask more questions. Give yourself patience with the infinite possibility of the answers. You'll find the right one for you that resonates for your highest and greatest good. No apologies necessary. You came in for wisdom and understanding. That's what intuitives do. feel the space. They feel you, and they hold space for you so that you can go within yourself and find out what resonates for you. I take what resonates and I'll leave the rest for myself. I close that energy session between you and me and give it back to the divine. Let it just flow on through. Wisdom and understanding is it's not perfect. Perfect is overrated. You take what resonates for you. You don't have to be perfect at it. You don't even have to be perfect at the understanding of it. Take what you understand from what was read here, and then either you can pray on it or you can meditate on it, whatever you call it. You can go to the library and look more stuff up. You can go find obscure books and say, well, I want to read more about this, or we want to read more about the information that Ra's providing, but I want to see it from someone else. Another book, another podcast. Take what resonates. Back to you, Marcus.
I don't think I have anything to say right now. I don't have anything to share. Nothing from me.
Life just is. It's a moment. It's a billion moments. It's a trillion moments. It's eons of moments. Compressed down and thrusted into you at birth. With infinite possibilities of what you could do, say, or be. I had a vibrational conversation with, and this was very earlier in last year when I lost, not I, but our family lost my grandson at an early age, at 4 months. And that entity, that wholeness that was my grandson, came and explained that he had the choice to come into a human body, but he was not happy in the human body that he came in. It was not conducive for his calling. He stayed long enough to do part of what he came to do. But he told me vibrationally that he was going to be here for the family, protecting them and holding space for them as a spirit being, but that he was going to be back in human form soon. These are higher beings, higher consciousnesses that will talk to you or will express with you. I say the word talk and we expect to hear verbally. But when we sit down and we go within and seek ourselves, as Marcus says, know thyself. Our consciousnesses that are the other us's have a moment to have a conversation with us. And this year, 4 weeks ago, just under, he's back in a brand new body. And I wondered why I couldn't feel him anymore. But he came to me. He says, well, I'm about to be born. You're going to feel a lot of me. This is what Ra is talking about. It doesn't, it could be quick and it could be like a two-step or a cha-cha. It could be like a slow dance. Dancing with the cosmos. It could be just that quick. You don't have to wait till you die to have an experience of a lifetime. As our Ra is saying, is you can spend so much time thinking about fourth density, fifth density, sixth density. You can spend so much time thinking about draconians and Arcturians and even thinking and focusing so much on Ra that you're not spending any time living the lifetime that you're given. Letting life express through you. The moment you wake up, you don't want to be in the physical body anymore. The moment you have that spiritual awakening, all of a sudden you want to be on the spiritual end of it, and you don't want to be where the divine is trying to seek itself in everything that it's given you. It wants you to pull out your backpack, people, and play. Pull out all your gifts and your toys and play with them. See how they work for you. Don't worry about the toys in other people's backpacks, because I guarantee you, the divine has told me that every gift is the same gift. It's just the gift of energy and you manipulating the energy for you. That's what's in that backpack, fused into you. And only you can take it from within and bring it out. Only you can become you. I didn't say that you're not going to be able to learn, but you are. I didn't say that you aren't going to be able to become, but you are. I'm not going to say you're not going to have wisdom, but you are. But you're an individual. You get to decide how you want to have it. All of those things. Shifting, expanding, wisdom, understanding, and becoming, and then evolving. And then after you do it and you're still here, then you get to say, what next? You find yourself not saying, why me anymore? You just say, oh, up next is batting 100. Up next, let me see what I'm going to do. Maybe you won't bat it out of the park this time like you did before. Maybe you'll make it to third base. Infinite possibilities, baby. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You are for sure the number one person in your story. You are the lead character. You are the writer. You are the producer. You are the set dresser. Regardless of whether you do it consciously or unconsciously, you are the creator, having a moment as a physical being, seeking itself, themselves, their selves as you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Back to you, Marcus.
That being said, carve your way through this journey. Whatever it is that you would like to be or become, know that is possible. Are you going to put in the willpower, the actions, the accountability of the process it takes to become that? Another thing to consider also, whose programmings, whose belief systems, whose judgments am I carrying inside of my psyche about myself and life? How is my view with life? How's my relationship with life? Do I even feel like I love and enjoy my life? Or do I feel like I have a bad relationship with life? A question to maybe ponder upon. Just from a blank, neutral place. Along with that, just checking in with the different gears and different aspects. Are we addressing that same mental limitation that keeps cycling? Are we addressing that attachment to that old partner that keeps coming up? Are we addressing the behaviors, the habits, addictive tendencies that we are continuing to perpetuate? Hold on, wait a minute. Are we allowing ourselves to be feminine? Are we allowing ourselves to surrender a little bit every once in a while? To be nurtured, to be provided for, to be loved, starting with our own self, are we taking that space for ourselves? Are we prioritizing that? Or are we just kind of autopiloting from wake up to bed? I give these reminders so that we may remember simplicity of our being and ourself. I just want to also give us the reminder that we are always capable of deciding for ourselves. And remember as well, your power of experience, experiencing something for your own self. We can always hear about something, or we can always be shown about something in a different moment, in a different time space, through an image or a video. But when we really truly experience something fully, then we get to develop our own discernment, our own sense with this being in this avatar of our relationship with that information. And this last reminder is just to help us carve our intentions through this journey of being able to discern. Am I absorbing? Am I picking up on other people's projections and limited realities that they are choosing? Or am I allowing myself to be authentic to me and what feels like what resonates for my being as a multidimensional being? And just remember as well, there's no right or wrong if you agree or disagree with others' beliefs and take those on. But for me, the thing is, it's not disregarding someone else's beliefs. It's accepting their beliefs for them, and then it's accepting my beliefs for me. And knowing that there's enough space for that individualness while still being connected in the oneness of the whole. For me, that's unconditional love. Unconditional love is knowing that there is enough space for all of us to have our own personal reality that we experience without even needing to bombard on somebody else or try to change the other or do anything of that nature. Because there's that much space, eternal flow. It's so beautiful, so incredible. And thank you all for being here with us in this space of the present. Whether it's live or not live, it's truly incredible when we soak it all in and really be present with what we are and what we're in. Like it's so fascinating. Just look around you guys, like look all around you. Look at your body, look at what you have. It's pretty incredible. Think about how much moments we experience within these vessels. Not days, but moments. Like think about how many moments you experience. Whew.
Oh, okay. The moment you mentioned moments, okay, I was trying to decide if I was going to read this or not, but Marcus mentions, think about the moments that that you're in. Be your humanness. Be you. Devour each of your human moments. Devour them. What a gift to be experiencing them all. Love yourself and the human around you. You are all having to navigate as higher dimensional consciousness in such a dense form. All of you, not just some of you, not just one or two of you, all of you. Remember, all is perfect and divine in the one true creator. Nothing is right or wrong, and yet in that statement, you can sit in the beautiful dimensional field that holds what you believe is right or wrong. The divine wants you to know its energy. This is the evolution of human consciousness. This is you shifting. This is you remembering the book you wrote in this lifetime. You wrote it. You wrote your script. You get to cross out and change and erase and redefine. And whether this is the first book you have written on Earth plane, or you have a library filled with books you've lived, you are consciously, courageously, patiently turning the light on, putting on your reading glasses, and remembering who you are and what you've designed. You are choosing in each now moment to create the next highest version of you. So just be. Know you are light, and that this life will turn in a blink of an eye. Why? Because change is guaranteed to happen. That's evolution. Devour it like it is the only now moment you have. Devour it. Devour it like it is the only moment, the only now moment you're going to have. Devour a moment when you will be out of form and in a higher dimensional consciousness. There will be that moment. It's going to happen. Don't rush it. Devour your now moments. Discern them. Find out for your highest and greatest good what that now moment is trying to tell you, where it's trying to lead you to. Remember your human life and what an absolute miraculous gift and experience it was and it is. And the divine says, we love you. We are with you and we honor you. And you are not alone in your story. Love, peace, unconditional joy I have for you. A joy in everything that you are, everything that you want to be, everything that you haven't been yet, but will be. What a wonderful joy. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Marcus. One love. Can't wait till our next episode. I'm excited already.
That was weird. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 34. And we will be back. No, we won't be back. We will be in a present time space next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And we will be exploring some more of the raw material. And are we finishing up book 2, or are we on book 3 now, next episode?
We will be finishing up book 2.
Okay.
Yes,
so yeah, we'll be finishing up book 2 of 5.
Yep.
Then after that, we'll be beginning book 3.
Book 3.
So Beyond Limitations.
And it's not a tease. I already got it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
so be on the lookout. There's going to be some upgrades coming to the graphics. There's going to be some upgrades coming to the presentation for book 3. So just be on the lookout, subscribe, tap in, keep on following us and participating, which we appreciate you guys doing so. It really makes these spaces when you guys participate. So please, share the downloads that you're getting, share what you want to express in the comments, and feel free to ask questions as well. We love you guys, and you guys have a blessed and beautiful night. Thank you guys. Wholeness and balanced love.
Wholeness and balanced love. One love. The law
One
of one.
love.